Just streaming. I hope you guys are good. So I finished the halibut that that I was looking at last week. I'm so excited. So I'm just trying to set up my systems here. I'm doing a Facebook Live at the same time I'm doing a Twitch. And I've got my pattern and some other stuff going on the side computer. So while I get that set up, you guys will just have to bear with me for a second. I'm just trying to see how I see all of the things. Right. Anyway, how's your evening going? I hope everyone's good. Happy Saturday. I'm just doing a bit of setting up before I get started on my next project. So just bear with me a second. I'm really stoked that I was able to finish my my halibut crochet for my third grader. If you're not aware, um, hi guys, I'm a special education teacher, and I have a whole bunch of stuffies in my classroom that the kids can borrow, and usually I ask them what they want. And this third grader, who's really into fishing, wanted a halibut crochet. So I'm just getting set up. There we go. Okay, next project up for grabs. We are going to make another shark. So you've seen my avatar profile picture on Twitch or TikTok or YouTube Shorts. It's a crocheted shark. I'm going to make a new one because that is definitely the most popular one among my students. So I have one that's about the size of a basketball, and my third graders call that one big chungus. And then I've got a smaller one that's like the size of a cantaloupe or so, and that's baby chungus. Um, and to hopefully stave off more arguments as who can play with the methods, I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to make another small one, and I'm thinking I'm going to make a little pink bow to go on her head, and this one will be Princess Chungus. We'll see if the guys go for it. It's funny because the third graders are the ones that name my stuffies more so than my fourth graders, but my fourth graders are the ones that fight over them. So we'll see how that goes. So let's do this. Thankfully, this one's a lot simpler than my halibut. Oh, do you want to see the halibut? Let me show you the halibut. I've got it right here. Look at this baby. Look at this baby. Yes, he's got wonky eyes because halibuts have wonky eyes. He's flat because there's a flatfish that lives on the bottom of the sea. So that'll be going into school with me on Monday. But in the meantime, I'm going to start on the new shark. So I'm not 100% on the color of name of this. This is Bernat Blanket. I did get it from Michael's. It tends to be my go-to for most of my crafty stuff. But it's a nice gray color. And the good thing about this pattern is that it's super simple. It's just basically a sphere. So you're working increases, you're working decreases. Well, how that goes. So if you see me playing with my computer, it's because I've got my Lightstream Studio on one tab and I've got the pattern on a different tab. So that's going to be fun. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is a magic circle, but I don't do magic circles. I do the whole thing where you chain 3, link it together with a slip stitch, and that's your circle. for a couple of reasons. First, I've never got the hang of never got the hang of magic circles, and magic circles tend to come apart easier than this does. So, yeah. So I am actually doing chain 3 and then a slip stitch to connect it. And what I do when I'm working with Bernat or any of this kind of like fluffy, fuzzy-ish kind of yarn, I tend to put a stitch marker in the center of my circle because I always get lost with this kind of fuzzy-ish yarn. Um, so that just makes my life a little easier when I'm doing those first couple of rows where you're stitching into the center of your circle. So this starts off like most circles do, where you're chain 3. I did my chain, made my circle. Now we're going to chain 1 and 10 single crochets inside of my circle. So we will see if we can handle that. Okay, here we go. This first row is always the hardest for me when it comes to crocheting round things. And I need to remember with this kind of blanket yarn, I need to keep my tension a lot looser than I usually do. So I've got 2. Oh, that definitely was not in the center. Let me get back. All right, 2. That's better. 3, 4, 5. 5 more to go. 6, 7. Sorry, I got my big old ball of yarn over here. So I'm at 7. 3 to go. 8, 9, 10. All right, I've done my set 10. And the hardest part is finding your first one to do a slip stitch in. Like I said, with this Bernat blanket, it's always a lot harder. Okay, it looks like it's right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yep, it definitely is that one. Let's slip stitch that baby together. Okay, here we are. Oh, excuse me, itchy eye. We got it started. I'm probably going to leave that stitch marker in there for a row or two, and then I will pull it out. You can probably hear my son's conure going. It's about that time where she comes out for the evening, so we'll see what happens. Hello to my 2 viewers in Twitch. I hope you guys are good. Don't worry about chatting if you're not into that sort of thing. Lurking is cool. I just ask that, if possible, if you could give me a follow, that would be great. Otherwise, just come and hang out. And my Facebook crew. Hope everybody's good today. Right, next row. Doing an increase in the first stitch, single crochet in the next, repeat. Okay, so let's get going. So, Saturday night, I hope everybody is having a good one. So I'm increasing and then doing a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, this one's getting close. 13, 14, and 15. Okay, second row done. So I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. So for my Twitch viewers, I'm not going to be on super late tonight. I had to get up at 5:30 this morning for a meet. So I'm exhausted. I've got coffee going on, but I'm tired. But I did want to get started on this new crochet. All right, let's go back to the pattern. Row 3, increase, and then 2 singles. Okay. Usually when I'm crocheting, I can talk and crochet at the same time. Except when I'm doing these increase patterns. I seem to really screw them up if I'm talking while I'm crocheting. So we'll see how that goes. I already lost count. Okay. Yeah. I think I've done 2 sets. Yeah. Okay. So this is a increase. And then 2 singles. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this stitch marker that's in the middle of my work right now and start having it at the end of the row. That way I don't necessarily need to count every time and lose my spot. I just know that's where I started. Okay. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. So this is where I started. That's better. I think my brain can handle that a bit better. Increase. And then 2 single crochets. Hi, Facebook friends. I see you. I appreciate you being here. So this, if you didn't catch my discussion earlier, this is going to be another shark. My third one, because my 4th creators keep arguing over who gets to play with him. So I've got big Chungus, which is like the size of a basketball, baby Chungus, which is the size of a cantaloupe or so, and I'm making another cantaloupe sized one, but this one's going to be girly. Okay, that's another row done. I'm going to move my marker to where I just ended so that I don't lose my space. So this is increase and then 3 single crochets between each for this row. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry if I'm counting and not talking right now because I gotta count. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, yeah. I'm lining up my increases correctly. Yay. It's half the battle with these circular crochet type things, is making sure your increases line up in the right spots. Ooh. I probably should keep my yarn over here so it doesn't keep crossing my screen, but it's kind of nice to hang out on. It's so nice. Okay. 2 more stitches for this row, and then we're going to the next one. So my students have asked me before how long it takes me to make one of these little baby sharks, and usually it's about 4 hours. I obviously don't do that in one sitting because I'm not a maniac, but I'll do a little bit tonight. If I stream tomorrow, I'll do a little bit tomorrow. Um, and hopefully I'll have it done by maybe Wednesday. My fourth graders have MCAS this coming up week on Tuesday. So if I can get it done by Tuesday, it would be a cool little gift for them while they have to take MCAS. So maybe that's my goal, to finish this by Tuesday morning. So if I stream tomorrow night and Monday night, I should be good. Okay. All right, increase time. So this one is increase, and now 4 stitches, between increases. What I don't like about this pattern, usually when I'm looking at patterns, it's they'll give you the row, they'll give you the pattern, and at the end they give you a stitch count. So you know, okay, there's 36 stitches or 64 stitches or whatever. This one doesn't. And when I've made it before, I've plugged it into Chat GPT for that to give me a stitch list, like a stitch count list. But I think I got rid of that. Anyway, it's just a ball. It's not super involved like my little halibut friend over here. So let's do this. All right, it is time for another increase, right? Am I right in? It looks like I am right. Okay, increase time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, increase. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do 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 do. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, increase, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, increase. Yeah, increase. 25. Ooh, this is really stuck. What's going on? 25. Might need to take that one out. Oh, oh my gosh, this is really on there. Okay. Ooh, boy. What have I done? Oh, here we go. That worked. All right, I'm frogging one. Just one. Getting back to it. Right, where is my increase? Got a couple more stitches in this row, and then I'll have a look at see how big it looks. Because I think at this point is where I'm going to stop increasing, do a couple rows of just straight up single crochets, and then start the decreases. So maybe I will. I definitely won't finish it tonight. Probably not tomorrow because I need to dig out some pink crochet for the hair bow. And I definitely don't have any upstairs because I hardly ever crochet with pink. So I might have it in my stash downstairs. Worst comes to worst, I'll grab some from work because that's where all my undesired yarn goes for my after school crochet club. Right. I think I'm going to do at least one more row of increases. Because it's still a bit tiny. Yeah, we'll do another row of increases. All right, so we are now at 5 stitches in between increases. Okay, 5 stitches in between increases. So I hope everyone's having a lovely Saturday, even though it's miserable outside. I was up at, like I said, 5:30 this morning for a track meet for my son. 3, 4, 5. So we were doing that this morning, and luckily it didn't rain too much while we were there. I also remembered to bring a poncho this time. And then tomorrow is Mother's Day. So I'm going over to my mom's house, see my brothers. And then just, I think, chill for the rest of the day. I might do another Twitch stream tomorrow evening, depending on how I'm feeling. And this is my first time doing a Facebook Live. So hi to my Facebook friends. I see you. Lovely to see you guys. Some of those names coming up make me smile. Okay, and this is an increase. Okay. Okay. So that was an increase. Now I'm doing another 5 singles. 1, 2. It is awful looking out. 4, 5. Yeah, so 5:30 this morning. I'm surprised I'm still awake because I'm freaking exhausted. And it was freezing at the meet today, but it was worth it. TJ did well. I'm very excited about that. Oh, thanks for the hearts, guys. Yeah, so Teach ended up, I think he was the fastest freshman in the 300 hurdles. I know he was the highest placed freshman for the long jump. And he ended up 7th overall. And then for triple jump, he was the second highest freshman. I think it was like 9th or 10th overall. But his triple was definitely his rough one for the day because he was about 2 feet off of his PB. So, but it was the last event of the day, and it was cold and rainy and that kind of stuff. Okay, another row done. Yeah, I'm thinking I might even need to do like 2 or 3 more increases on this one to get it to be that cantaloupe size that I'm looking for. Yeah, so I had a friend ask me why I started Twitch streaming and things like that. And it's kind of something I wanted to do for a while. and I talked it over with my students and see what they thought, because the opinions of 10-year-olds really mean a lot to me, apparently. But they thought it was really cool. And it's funny because when they watch Twitch, it's usually just like streamers, like the people playing. Oh, hi, happy Mother's Day. Yeah, tell the wifey we said happy Mother's Day to you as well. Um, yeah, I think we're just chilling out at home. I don't think Em and I are really going to do too much. Hello to my Twitch viewers. I hope you guys are good. If you could do me the solid of throwing me a follow, that would be awesome, because I've literally been streaming. This is my fifth stream, so I'm still a baby. Um, and I also started a YouTube channel for my shorts that I pull from my Twitch streams. And my third graders are super impressed that I've already got 6 followers. So yeah, it's been a topic of conversation, which eventually turns into what we write about in school and that kind of thing. All right, we're doing all right. It's getting there. I do like the feel of this burnout blanket yarn. It's just a pain in the butt to work with. But at least it doesn't fall apart. I've worked with this kind of blanket yarn before that while you're stitching it, like the little furry pieces are coming off. That's a pain in the ass. Okay, and that's another row done. So my next thing is I need to figure out what I'm doing next, because basically the last 5 projects I've done have all been from kid requests. And the reason I'm doing another shark is because they've been fighting over the 2 sharks that they already have. So let's make a third. But I'm thinking, since next week is MCAS week and all my kids are going to be burnt out, it would be a good day to take some time and look online for some patterns. I'm going to be proctoring anyway, so I'm going to be just, pretty much babysitting kids for 5 hours a day on Tuesday and Wednesday. I do take my own students for MCAS, and I was smart enough this year to make sure all of their IEPs say that they have a computer reader. So I'm not reading MCAS or anymore. I know, like I've done RICAS, I've done MCAS where I'm reading aloud, and it's like, why am I doing this to myself? So everyone's got the accommodation now that if they get it read to them, it's computer-based reading. Yay me. So my 4th graders have math on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then my 3rd graders have math the next Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it's done for the year. I'm good. I can stop messing around with these standardized testings. So it's very quiet in my house right now. I'm surprised my son's bird is not screaming to come play outside, come out here. Usually about 7:30ish, the dogs go in my bedroom to hang out, and then my son's bird comes. We let her out of her cage so she can fly around for a few hours and just be with us, but I don't hear her. So she's probably flying around in TJ's room. We'll see. Sorry. I'm looking all over the place because I've got 2 computers going. I've got my regular computer, which has my Twitch stream and my Twitch overlay. I've got my phone, which has my Facebook live. And then off to the side over here, I've got another really old Chromebook set up that's got my chill out music going on and just some Twitch stuff. I do have the pattern for this in a tab, but I'm at the point in the pattern where I know where to increase and where not to, so I don't need to count anymore. Um, music. Oh, so the music I've got going on in the background, questioning one of my Twitch folks is asking me what the music is. So I've got a YouTube page open, and it's actually something that I have going on in my classroom pretty much all the time. It's a streamer who streams Animal Crossing, that cozy kind of video game. And what they do, they got lo-fi music in the background, and the video part of it is so somebody designs a house or a room or the hotel. If you've played Animal Crossing, you probably know what I'm talking about. But they've got a really well designed room, and the feed is just watching the NPCs go around in that room. So right now on my screen over here, um, it's the blue bear. I can't even remember the name of it. The blue bear and one of the goats watering plants in this really gorgeous, well done room. Now, I absolutely adore playing Animal Crossing, and I wish I had the time and the patience to design rooms like some of these people do, but no. So the YouTube page is called Solace Crossing. That's the person who creates all these, and I've pretty much got it running the entire day in my classroom. Um, because I like that kind of lo-fi chill thing going on, and the kids don't seem to mind it either. All right, where is my marker? Okay. I think we're almost at that point where I'm just going to start doing single crochets all the way around. But I want to finish this part of increases. All right, where's my increase line? Right here. Okay. My Twitch is quiet tonight. Usually I get a couple of good chatters in there, but everyone's been quiet. Maybe my music is putting them to sleep. All right, so what else did we do today? What else did I do today? Track meet, came home, chilled out for a bit, started streaming. Tomorrow is mom's house with my brothers for Mother's Day. Where's my increase? Right here. Oh, I'm good. Um, what am I making? I am making a shark. If you look at my Twitch profile or my TikTok profile or my YouTube profile, it's this picture of a shark that I made. That's the big one with the. So making one of those. That's small, and I'm using a 8.0 millimeter hook and Bernat blanket yarn. I'm not sure the color name, but it's this really nice steelish gray. All right, increase there. And then I think we're gonna just start doing regular crochet circles. What time is it? 7:48. I'll probably go till 8 o'clock. Sounds like a reasonable time to call it quits for the day. I do need to catch up on Testaments at some point this weekend too. I've been watching that. Been watching Daredevil, Born Again. And that's all we've really been watching recently. We finished a whole bunch. We got Netflix for a short period of time. Um, I think we got it around Stranger Things time, and then we've watched the Peaky Blinders movie, and then we watched a couple other series on Netflix. But we're back to Disney Plus and Hulu. Okay, so it's time to do some single crochets all the way around. I'm going to move my stitch marker so I know where I'm starting and finishing. Okay. This is the easy part. This is where I can crochet and talk at the same time. So beyond this shark, I've got two other works in progress, as I think all crafters tend to do. I've got a granny square blanket that I come and go to. And then for my birthday, my wife got me a gift card to Michael's. And I got this really thick yarn that you use for arm knitting. You've probably seen it before. It's like the thickness of a thumb, I would say, like an average thumb. So I started doing arm knitting with that or hand knitting with that, and it didn't look right to me. My tension was way off. So I ended up getting one of the hand knitting looms, and basically it's like a 2x4 with pegs on it. And I'm making a little throw blanket for our couch, but I need to go out and buy at least two more skeins. So at some point, I need to remember at the end of the day of work to buzz over to Michael's because it's like 10 minutes away from where I work. But again, relying on me to remember anything is a miracle and a half these days. Yay, old age. All right. I love to see my Facebook friends coming and going. That makes me so happy to see them. And my Twitch viewers, I'm not forgetting you guys. You're there too. I appreciate that. So this is another free pattern. If you're on my Twitch stream, if you go to my about section, it's linked there. If you're not on my Twitch stream and you're interested in the pattern, it's from a blogger called Left Handed Crochet, and it's like a shark and a narwhal pattern in one posting. Hers are giant, like giant. I'm talking like this big, and there's no way I would have any space in my classroom for something that big. Plus, if my kids decided to take them to their inclusion classes like they usually do, holy smokes, those teachers are going to be angry. There's a big, giant shark in their classroom. They already get a bit cranky about my stuffies anyway, but it's all good. I do love the teachers I work with this year. So much better than last year. All right. We're getting there. All right. I'm going to pull it off my hook for a second just to kind of move around. Oh, yeah. We're definitely there. So this is the halfway point. Yeah, that's perfect. So I'm at the halfway point. And what I need to do now is basically the reverse of what I did making it. So what I was doing was increasing every few stitches on the way out, and now what I'm doing is decreasing and every few stitches on the way in. And that's how increasing and decreasing works. So I left off with 5 stitches in between increases. So now I'm going to do a decrease and then 5 stitches in between the decreases. And then the next will be decreases in 4 and then decreases in 3. That's just kind of the way that making a ball works. Okay. Decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another decrease. Okay. I've probably got about 5 more minutes of streaming left before I decide it is time to stop. Because I'm getting tired. I'm sure my dogs are getting tired and they want to go to bed. Because at least one of them won't go to bed unless I'm with her. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, that almost went in my coffee. I've got my coffee hanging right here. That almost went inside of it. Okay, decrease. And 5. Which one is that in? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look, and it's lined up right with the increase. Hey, skills. Decrease time. Decrease, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost there. Decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more set should put me right at the beginning again. And then I think it'll be time to go. Decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect, perfect. I'm rarely this accurate with my stitch counting. All right, guys. I'm chilling out for the night. It was great. I've been streaming for about 2 hours today, so I was super psyched to be on Twitch and finishing up my halibut for my 3rd graders. I'm going to be working on this shark tomorrow, so if you want to come hang out, it's SJ Crochet on Twitch. If you're watching me from my Facebook feed, thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's good to see some familiar names, and I appreciate you. Otherwise, have a good Saturday evening, and I'll see you guys next time.